Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in to the JB Arts YouTube channel. Today we're doing some bamboo pen and ink. Now when I got to do this activity, trying to do something unique every time, one of the things I haven't sat down and sort of created in quite some time is just sketch openly, sketch freely. Whatever comes into my imagination, I just dropped on the page as quick as I could, as fast as I could, sloppy, expressive. I just wanted to have fun with it. And I definitely achieved that. It's been a long time since I've used a pen like this without any sort of pre-drawing or even pre-thought. I just kind of drew my first line, and then whatever that line developed into, that's what it was. Really, any line that you put on your page can be anything you want it to be. It can go in any direction. You just need the imagination to do it. So I wanted to trigger my imagination on this one and just have a blast. So I ended up putting out sort of 12 pictures within sort of 2 hours, and then focused in on 2 that I really liked to finish as a nice final piece. And that's where sketching comes in, where you can just put down your ideas, whatever kind of creativity, and draw what you like out of it to finish into a piece you really want to keep. So sketching has got to be one of the most important acts of art. Planning out ideas, working out compositions, and problem solving. Getting your ideas onto paper, working them out before you commit to a really good copy. Sketching, again, one of the most valuable creative forms you can do in drawing. Usually a good painting starts off with a good drawing. If you're going to do sculpture, doing it as a quick sketch from multiple different angles so you get an idea what you want to do. All of these things can come together, and it starts with your quick sketch. So a couple things about the pen. You'll notice that it has cuts on 2 ends. One is for a fine tip, one is a little bit more of a bold tip. If you stand the pen up onto a 90-degree angle, you'll get just the tip of the wood touching the paper, giving you finer lines. Or you can lay the pen down and get thicker, broader brush strokes. Not brush strokes, pen strokes. If you use the pen on its side a bit more, you can get quite large washes done quickly in large black areas. When we're using our pens, we want to have some areas sort of quite dark and then leaving light spots where we get a positive negative balance. I spoke about that before in some of our other videos, just trying to get a nice little elegant balance. Every time we do one, we get a little bit better. We play around with it, and yeah, you should have a lot of fun with this particular activity. I know I did. When you're finished all your inking, you can color it with whatever you want. So you get one that you really like, or you think you can take it to the next level, totally do it. You can use pencil crayon, you can use watercolor, you can use opaque watercolor called gouache or tempera paint or like poster paint. You can use dollar store acrylics, you can use artist grade acrylics, pretty well whatever you want. You can paint this ink on top of canvas. So if you want to do a full-blown painting, something that you can hang on your wall, totally do it. That's one of the best advantages to this type of work. It's fun and expressive, gives you a great start to something, and then you can run with it from there. From here, I'm going to let you watch the video, watch these sort of quick sketches. You can certainly pause it at any time, try it on your own, using your imagination. Definitely one of the best exercises you can do for your brain in any type of sort of creative exercise. So, enjoy. I'll cut back into more audio as we're doing the painting part, the final rendering of 2 of the images. Enjoy! Alright, I have to cut back in on this one here. Doing a cute little bunny, and then I got partway into it, and I hated it. I didn't like it at all. I got a big blob on his face. I didn't know what to do with it, so I started turning the book around, and then my imagination clicked. They didn't look like ears anymore when I turned it upside down. They looked like legs. So I put some shoes on it and tried my bunny again. Here we go. We've got a little bunny holding a plant, sitting in the grass, looking all happy, enjoying the beautiful day. Now we're getting into the painting. And this is where your sketches, perhaps you don't even like your sketches, can turn into something more. And adding a lot of color, usually your pen and ink is only halfway there. Maybe not even halfway, maybe only a third of the way. Adding your color can define your lines. If you put in too much black in one spot, you can cover that up with your paint. Here we're using acrylic inks. So the acrylic ink is just a much finer, smoother consistency. It's even thinner than a fluid acrylic. The inks are a little bit more slippery. They stay wet just a little bit longer. You can mix them in to any type of acrylic that you like. And yeah, I started off with darker colored petals, then added my highlights as I went. Same with the greenery in the stems and such. I started with a darker, earthier green, and then put in brighter greens on top of it. How I got my more earthy yellow was I actually added a tiny touch of purple to the yellow, and that made it a little sort of brown or off yellow, and then used my bright yellow on top of it. I did the same method for my green. I had a tiny touch of purple to my green. It gave me sort of a dark earthy green, then put my brighter greens on top of it. You might notice I'm also using the same sort of purple for my background. Now, how did I get that sort of not bright off the wall purple? Well, I added a touch of yellow to it. Sometimes when you get your colors, they're the brightest they can possibly be, and the brightest possible color looks fantastic for highlights, but often it's too bright. If you paint everything too bright, it just looks blah. It almost becomes harder to look at. So earthy kind of colors in, toned down kind of colors, and then put your little accents of bright colors on top. You can see there's not a lot of black left from my picture. Have the two sort of fade in together here. And there we go. Overall, this only took about 15-20 minutes to paint. Example 2. Now this one here, I felt it really needed the color. The picture overall didn't read as well as I wanted to. It almost got a little too busy with my inks. Some of my trees or my bushes were getting mixed up with rocks. I didn't sort of visually separate the two of them well enough. This one in particular, I knew was composition-wise, aesthetically, people like this kind of scene, and I knew I could do a lot more with it if I threw in just a bit of color. So I'm trying to mix up enough greens here. So sometimes I'm mixing oranges or purples or reds into my greens, a bit of magentas, and that changes my greens just slightly. So we know one's a tree, one's grass, one is a reflection in the water to give me a little more of like a turquoisey kind of color. The bushes are a slightly different green, and they all sort of describe different areas of my picture. As soon as I started to put in that dirty orange for the brown in the trees, I absolutely loved this picture. Again, it took me only about 15 minutes, 20 minutes to do. Thank you for tuning in to the JB Arts YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed yourself. This is one of my favorite activities. So thanks. We'll talk to you again soon. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all of those fantastic things. Okay, have a great day.